So, MistareFusion has finally released his Donkey Kong 64 episode, which I was waiting for a long time, and frankly, you disappoint me. Okay, can you read what it says on the screen right now? Yeah, I can through the viewfinder. Watch this. Widescreen. See that? That says widescreen. Now, I seem to be the only one in Gamerland that knows that that option exists. But see how nice it is to actually have a picture that fills the full screen as opposed to something with black bars on the sides? Now, widescreen in 1999, I can understand, was uncommon because after all, who had HD TVs back in 1999? But of course I have one now, and we have HD monitors when we're watching your videos. And frankly, seeing black bars on the side of the screen is an annoying concession that we make when we have to see footage of old games on these modern 16:9 screens, but it should not be a concession we have to make when the game actually has a widescreen mode. But pretty much every not-me person on YouTube seems to not realize that any game before the Xbox 360 and PS3 generation has a widescreen mode and actually uses it. I'd practically seem to be the only human being alive who knows this. Now, in case you're wondering what I did when it was pillar boxed earlier and now it's in widescreen, well, what I basically have is I have a composite HDMI converter with a with an aspect ratio switch. There's a little switch on my converter that fixes the aspect ratio automatically, which is something that most composite HDMI converters don't have. But whoever made the converter I'm using seems to be very wise to how people use it. And yes, it is in fact proper widescreen. It's not like Jet Force Gemini, which just letterboxes the screen. Now, for that game, I can totally understand you not using its widescreen mode because it greatly reduces the resolution. But this is not like that, and some people, including Guru Larry, have a horrible misconception about this game as well. But both this game and Banjo-Tooie and even GoldenEye, as a matter of fact, all have widescreen modes that are optimized for our modern rectangular TVs. But once again, I seem to be the only human being on Earth who knows that, because every person I've ever seen who records YouTube footage of these games never ever uses the widescreen mode. But I'm very disappointed in MistareFusion for not knowing that it's there because, well, when he talked about how he was going to do Donkey Kong 64 someday, I put a comment telling him that it had a widescreen mode. And I guess he just didn't hear me. And the thing is, MistareFusion, he's the kind of guy who, MistareFusion is the person who usually knows special things that normal people don't. Which, of course, was why I was disappointed when he went from Donkey Kong Country to Donkey Kong Country 2, instead of surprising everyone by going to Donkey Kong Land, since that was the actual next Donkey Kong game chronologically released. But somehow, even though I keep reminding him that those Game Boy Donkey Kong Land games exist, I just don't know if he's ever going to do them. He did acknowledge one of them in one of his videos. But, and as for people's criticism of this game, yeah, you see that? 201 bananas, 999 banana coins. And you'll see the infinity marker next to my ammo. Yep. I played this game to 100% completion, and when I finally managed to do that, I was in absolute awe of just the vast amount of content that was in this game. But everyone who talks about this game seems to complain about the collection of baubles and how it just made the collectathon go to the extreme. As for me, I'm practically one of those guys who just can't resist the whole getting every single little bauble in a game. And as for other things, well, you may also notice that I am playing this game on a modern TV. Yeah, see, lots of YouTubers will give you the misconception that you can't play those old games on these modern, newfangled TVs because of input lag. Well, if there is any input lag, it's actually completely imperceptible to a normal person. And as you can see, I'm playing this game just fine. Let me see if I can get... Now, if you're noticing any kind of input lag, it's probably not the TV. It's more likely just that